Adalat on GST. For the next 2 hours, you will experience an Adalat first of its kind. Giving you an insight of the experience, today we have with us Mr. Karthik Sundaram, founding counsel of Karthik Law Chambers, practicing before Madras High Court. With over a decade of experience in handling tax disputes, he is one of the most reputed counsels of Madras High Court, with expertise in indirect taxation, trade policy, and GST. Mr. Sundaram was also a prodigal junior counsel of Mr. Arvind Datar. Mr. Karthik Sundaram will moderate GST Adalat. Thank you, sir. Your stage.
Thank you. Esteemed dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to GST Adalat, India's first premier mock court trial on GST. Albert Einstein once remarked that the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. Thankfully, in India, what we have to now deal with is the GST, or what is touted as the good and simple tax. In reality, is the GST indeed so simple? Today's GST Adalat seeks to deliver judgment on the same. We have with us this afternoon a panel of distinguished judges who will preside over the session and eminent counsels who will take us through the different nuances of GST law. As part of the panel of judges, we have with us three of India's most eminent tax lawyers. Shri Arvind P. Datar. Arvind P. Datar is a senior advocate of the Madras High Court. He completed his BSc Honours from the University of Bombay and BL degree from the University of Madras. He is also a qualified cost and works accountant. He practices at the Supreme Court, the Madras and other high courts, and is specialized in taxation, company and constitutional law. He is the author of a commentary on the Constitution of India, Guide to Central Excise Law and Practice, Central Excise Procedures, and has written over 150 articles for various journals and newspapers. He is the editor-in-chief of Ramaya's Guide to the Companies Act and chief editor of the recently released 10th edition of Kanga and Palkiwala's Law and Practice of Income Tax. He is also the co-author of the Courtroom Genius, written along with Shri Soli Sorabji. Shri N. Venkatraman. Shri N. Venkatraman is a renowned practicing senior counsel at the Supreme Court of India, and his practice also spans across 23 high courts all over India. He has represented large industries, multinationals in various high and complex court battles. He is well known for his straightforward thinking and deep intellect when it comes to interpretation of law. His thorough understanding of business practices and the Constitution of India makes him adept at handling any complex legal situation when it comes to decoding taxation and financial matters. Given the complexity of the matter, the third judge who will be joining us is Shri Rohan Shah. Shri Rohan Shah is a practicing counsel at the Bombay High Court and Supreme Court. He received his law degree from the Government Law College of Bombay. In 2001, Shri Rohan Shah founded Economic Laws Practice, ELP, a leading law firm, and he was the managing partner of the firm from 2001 to 2016, and then moved on to practice as an independent counsel. He is renowned for his practical knowledge of India's indirect, domestic, and international taxation codes and policies, and he's been recognized as a reputed tax lawyer by various international as well as domestic institutions. Now, coming to the lawyers. The two distinguished lawyers who will be representing the petitioner, assessee, and the respondent department in today's session are Shri Sujit Ghosh and Shri Monish Panda. Shri Sujit Ghosh is a tax lawyer having 23 years of experience and specializes in indirect taxes and international trade and customs. He graduated in law from the prestigious NLS Bangalore in 1995 and worked for several years with international tax consulting firms such as Arthur Andersen and E&Y. In 2010, he joined the bar, leaving his consulting practice entirely and turning into a full-time arguing tax counsels. He regularly appears before constitutional courts across the country and tax tribunals. There are several landmark decisions to his credit in the field of indirect and direct taxes rendered by the High Court and the tribunals. He's also been listed as one of the top 100 lawyers in India in 2017 and also one of the leading tax lawyers of India for 4 consecutive years by the International Tax Review. His core industry specialization is power, oil and gas, infrastructure and aviation. He is a regular faculty at the National Judicial Academy, Bhopal, and is currently a partner and national head of Advaita Legal. Shri Monish Panda. Shri Monish Panda has over 12 years of experience in handling complex tax, commercial, and regulatory disputes before the Supreme Court, High Court, and various tax and regulatory tribunals. He is also a qualified solicitor from England and Wales and was previously a part of the tax and commercial disputes team of ELP and prior to that Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan. He has been involved in various significant tax and commercial disputes and is well regarded among clients and peers. He is highly regarded for his expertise in arbitration and insolvency and bankruptcy matters and disputes advisory. Now coming to the moot problem. The moot problem deals with some of the real-time issues which many companies are facing under the GST regime. The moot problem primarily deals with 2 transactions. Transaction number 1, TechZ has launched a next generation smartphone model, the Z Next. The smartphone model is being offered at a price of 38,870. As part of a promotional offer, along with the phone,